Hey everybody, I'm Deanna Pappas.
And I'm Nicole Seidman.
And we're back with a very special Rose recap. We are hitting the streets and we're visiting Michael Stagliano today.
He's gonna give us the full inside scoop on what's really going on in Bachelor Pad.
All right, Michael, so let's get right into this competition because synchronized swimming, hello, that was freaking awesome. And the speedos were not half bad.
They're surprisingly comfortable, Deanna.
Well, that's good to know because you actually did really well. I mean, it was kind of embarrassing watching the girls. Sorry, ladies, but you guys really dominated here and took this competition and won.
Yeah, here's the thing. I'm not gonna lie. The guys literally treated it like we were competing for the 2012 London U.S. men's synchronized swimming team. I mean, honestly, we were that into it. It was a long day. We started at like 7 in the morning. The pool was cold. We went all day, but we just had fun and honestly tried hard.
You could tell, and you obviously tried the hardest because you won. You know, I think the ball grab and the wave sent you right over the edge.
You gotta send it out sometime.
You gotta end it right nice and pretty, and you
right
sure
at the
did.
judges' faces.
Oh, I love that. And Michelle Money also won this competition, which I was excited for because she looked so pretty. And she got the first date with Blake, Casey, and Graham.
Ooh.
Oh. Yeah, I mean, I thought their date was great. Obviously, it's fun watching them too. But the most fun watching was Graham's the most attractive human on Earth currently. Michelle's the most attractive woman on Earth currently, and they made out. So I loved watching it.
Couldn't get hotter than that.
Couldn't get hotter. It was like Edward and Bella.
Edward and Bella
I
was.
love Edward and
If
Bella.
I may be so bold.
I think you may. And I think that's enough said about that because that really was the highlight of their date. So
Agreed.
let's move right on to your date with Holly. I think it was really nice that you took Vienna out of the house and Ella out of the house.
Thanks,
They
yeah,
hadn't
they
been
did.
yet.
Yeah.
So good gentlemanly move of you.
Thank you. And
of course you took Holly on the date. And I want to know, how is it watching back those dates? Like, how do you feel when you watch them back?
It's very hard. I'm not gonna use the word horrible, but close to that. It's really sad, honestly.
It seems emotional.
Yeah, it's
I
hard.
think it's safe to say, like, we as viewers, we see it, and I think it's just a tough situation for people to see. You know, you guys were engaged, you were together, and right now we don't know the status of your relationship, but I think it's just hard as viewers to watch you two go through that because it's never an easy situation.
Yeah, and not to state the obvious here, but honestly, like, it's just sad. It's very sad to watch. It was very sad during, so.
Oh, I think you handle it well.
Thank you.
Yes, I mean, it shows a nice sweet side of you, that's
Thanks.
for sure. And what was also really cool was watching Bret Michaels come and perform for you guys.
Yes.
How was that?
Yeah, so, I mean, Bret Michaels is, he's a rock star and he's ladies and guitars and rock. He's just the most delightful man ever. And like, he was just hugging us constantly. We were drinking whiskey together, getting a little whiskey warm drunk on.
Well, that sounds like fun.
He's wonderful.
That's
Michael,
awesome.
one thing that I kind of really need to know
Sure.
is his hair real?
I didn't have the courage to, like hug and then give a little
Hug and tell.
I can't confirm or deny.
Can you confirm or deny whether or not he wears lip gloss?
There's something here. There's some, he's a rock star.
He's a rock star. What
star.
can you say? So in that moment when he was singing to you guys, even though there was cameras around and you didn't know him well, was it really romantic for you and Holly?
It was, and the song is very much about just a relationship not working out, and maybe it'll work out, but I don't know, and that's where we were. So yeah, we were holding hands. We kissed a little. It didn't air, but
But it happened.
but it happened, and it was great.
So
but
sorry.
hard.
Yeah, I could see that.
Yeah.
Do you think, looking back, that Bret Michaels' performance was nearly as good as Casey's performance?
Woo! That was a doozy. One of my honestly favorite TV moments ever in life. Yeah. And you know what? Like, Casey, he worked it a little bit too, right? He had his
tried.
collar out. He leaned back a little bit and I promise you. I mean, it was, he got it.
He can carry a tune, let's be honest.
He can carry it too.
How awkward is it when Vienna was like, please don't be an engagement ring?
Oh,
Lord.
Yeah, it was awkward.
It seems like living in the house with them was so uncomfortable. They were fighting all the time. It was so intense, right?
What is airing it? I didn't get that impression, honestly. And like, they were in my alliance, and I was just cool and friendly with them. So I didn't know any of these fights were happening. So they fought. They were
sure
fighting
did.
on the show, and I had no idea.
As viewers, right? Like, you're saying you didn't see any of this, but as viewers, all we see is that it looks like a bit of a train wreck.
I would use those exact words too.
Yes.
Bit of a train wreck.
Speaking of train wreck, we also saw in this episode that Melissa made up with Blake. Blake made up with Melissa, I should say. But it seemed like he only did it strategically so that he didn't get kicked off.
I would say not as true, actually. And I would even debunk what you guys said in your last episode about Melissa being a stage 5 clinger. And I would say that because I walked in on Blake and Melissa making out in the Boom Boom Room more times than I saw them fighting. So I honestly think Melissa has a reason. Yes, she was very emotional. a little too much.
Okay.
But yeah, I think Blake
So you're
was
saying
making out with her a
craziness
lot.
is justifiable.
Yes, honestly, yeah, I'm saying that.
I think there needs to be cameras in the boom boom room. Is that
Yeah,
is
there
that
are,
legal?
but not enough of the time.
Oh, okay.
Apparently.
All right, you guys, well, let's move on to the rose ceremony.
Sure.
Now, I don't know about you guys, but I was shocked, or not shocked, but I was secretly Team Jake. So I was hoping that he would pull it together in the end and persuade you guys in the house to vote off Casey, but it didn't happen.
Yeah, I mean, I was shocked, and I knew what was happening. But yeah, it was a really, really intense rose ceremony. And, you know, not to dive into strategy too much, but I think it's really interesting. I think it was kind of the turning point of the game where people really started to realize
Yeah.
that the bigger alliance was, you know, just going to start picking off the smaller alliance.
Did you know that day that Jake was scheming to get everyone turned around, or did he not know because you were in Casey's alliance?
Oh, I knew.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Very, very interesting.
It was very interesting.
Yes, well, it's a great show. We're loving it. Now that it's wrapped, what are you up to?
I'm doing a few things. I own a company, Stasso Sports. We organize after-work social sports leagues. It's a blasty blast all over Southern California.
That's so cool.
And I actually just put 3 songs up on iTunes. It was kind of something I've done since I was 18, just singing and recording and writing. And honestly, getting off the show, which was pretty emotional.
Yes.
I kind of needed a little bit of an outlet. So I did. So we recorded with some buddies for about 3 weeks and put them up on iTunes. And honestly, I'm really happy with them. I'm really proud of them. So.
And now, Michael, for everybody out there, you need to explain to them, how can they find these songs on iTunes?
Sure, very simple. It's just iTunes / Michael Stagliano, and the 3 songs are Everything You Do, which I wrote for Holly, Running, and Take Me to Her.
Thank you guys for watching another juicy episode of Rose Recap. Don't forget to follow us on Twitter @Rose Recap. And Michael, let's take it out, buddy.
It wasn't that long ago, I was sitting with you in the way